Two explosions killed over 100 people in the Iranian city of Kerman yesterday. At least 200 were injured in the blasts. They took place during a ceremony to commemorate the death of the Iranian general Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani was a high-ranking leader in Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps. He was killed by a US drone in 2020. Iranian officials are calling yesterday's blasts an act of terror. So far, no one has claimed responsibility for the attack. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi has blamed Israel for the twin attacks. Raisi has warned that Israel will pay the price. Iran's health minister says that yesterday's bomb blasts were one of the deadliest attacks in the country's history. Meanwhile, Venezuela unveiled a mural in honor of the slain Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani. The mural was unveiled in the capital, Caracas. It was part of a series of paintings in the newly inaugurated Venezuelan-Iranian Friendship Promenade. During the unveiling, the Iranian ambassador to Venezuela condemned yesterday's attack in Iran. A Hezbollah official called Hussein Yazbek has reportedly been killed in Israeli strikes in Lebanon yesterday. 8 other Hezbollah members were also killed as border clashes escalate. This comes after senior Hamas leader Saleh al-Aruri was killed by an Israeli drone strike in Beirut on Tuesday. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah said that his fighters are not afraid of war. Israel and Lebanon-based Hezbollah have been exchanging fire ever since the Israel-Hamas war broke out. The Israeli army released a video yesterday showing attacks near the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza. They said that the strikes were aimed at destroying Hamas tunnels in the region. Last November, Israeli forces had entered the hospital to confront Hamas. Israel accuses Hamas of using civilian areas like hospitals to carry out their operations. However, Hamas has denied the Israeli army's claims. Yemen's Houthis have said that they targeted a container ship belonging to the French company CMA-CGM. The Houthis say that the ship was bound for Israel. However, the shipping firm has clarified that the vessel was unharmed. The French company also countered the Houthi claims, saying that the ship was headed for Egypt and not Israel. Members of the UN Security Council discussed the situation in the Red Sea yesterday. They called on the Yemen-based Houthi group to halt their attacks on shipping along the trade route. UN officials say that the Houthi actions on the sea threaten regional stability, global freedom of navigation, and food supplies. Security Council members also demanded that the Houthis release the ship called Galaxy Leader. Galaxy Leader was the first ship that the Houthis seized after they began their attacks in the Red Sea. Russia and Ukraine have exchanged hundreds of prisoners of war. It was the biggest single release of captives since Russia's invasion of Ukraine began in February 2022. Ukrainian officials say that 230 of their prisoners were released. Meanwhile, Russia says that 248 of its soldiers were returned. The prisoner swap came after mediation by the United Arab Emirates. Junior doctors in England have kicked off the longest strike in the 75-year history of the UK's National Health Service. The doctors began a 6-day walkout yesterday. They are demanding a 35% pay hike amid rising inflation in the country. However, during the last round of negotiations, the British government offered them a raise of 8 to 10%. The United States will reopen 4 official US-Mexico border crossings today. The US border authorities say operations will resume at an international bridge in Eagle Pass, Texas, 2 crossings in Arizona, and another near San Diego, California. Just last week, Mexican and US officials pledged to work together to tackle record migration at their shared border. South Korean and US troops held joint combat firing drills near the border with North Korea. The South Korean military said that it was aimed at enhancing their combat readiness. Washington and Seoul have dramatically increased the scale and intensity of joint drills in the past year. This is amid escalating tensions on the Korean peninsula as North Korea continues to test nuclear-capable weapons. In Japan's capital, Tokyo, a woman attacked 3 men with a knife while traveling in a metro. Reports say one of the men sustained life-threatening injuries. The police have now taken the woman into custody. However, the motive for the attack is not known. Bangladesh has deployed armed troops across the country ahead of its national election this weekend. This comes amid fears of violence breaking out during the polls, which are set to begin on Sunday. The main opposition, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, is boycotting the election. This is after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina refused to give in to their demands. They wanted her to resign and cede power to a caretaker government before the election took place. Thick fog in multiple Chinese provinces led to delayed flights and closed highways. In some regions like Hubei, Hunan and Fujian, visibility came down to below 50 meters. Weather forecasters issued a string of warnings and advisories. Haze is expected in many areas. Parts of northern India are still engulfed in a dense layer of fog. The visibility has been low for days now and commuters have been facing delays in flights and trains. A cold wave has also taken hold of northern India. Sweden recorded its coldest January in 25 years yesterday. The country's meteorological department said it was the lowest since 1999. The temperature reached minus 43.6 degrees in the country's far north. Strong winds and floods caused by Storm Henk have battered parts of southern England and Wales. Floodwaters engulfed areas of Northampton in Britain's East Midlands. The UK's National Weather Service has issued a severe weather warning for the region yesterday. Meanwhile, France and Germany face flooding in the aftermath of Atlantic storms. Rescue crews were needed to help evacuate people from their inundated homes. A red alert was put out for a river in northern France, which was close to breaking its banks. Germany's carbon emissions have touched their lowest point in around 70 years. This is according to a report by energy think tank Agora Energiewende. The country has reportedly managed to reduce its dependence on coal faster than expected. Germany emitted 673 million tons of greenhouse gases last year, which is 73 million tons less than in 2022. This was Germany's lowest carbon emission level since the 1950s. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's climate plan is facing resistance in Saskatchewan. Provincial opposition has mounted against a federal carbon tax. Saskatchewan's minister emphasized this as a means to provide carbon tax fairness for families in the province. On to business and tech news. A new report says US bankruptcy filings surged by 18% in 2023 amid high interest rates. Commercial bankruptcy filings shot up by 72% to more than 6,500. The report added that bankruptcy case counts are expected to keep climbing in 2024. However, earlier, analysts had predicted the pace of filings to slow down. Rocket and satellite maker SpaceX is facing new allegations from the US Labor Agency. It has been accused of unlawfully firing 8 employees who were critical of owner Elon Musk. The employees circulated a letter calling Musk a quote-unquote distraction and embarrassment. The Labor Board has issued a complaint claiming SpaceX violated the workers' legal rights. India has said that it will launch a communications satellite using SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket this year. The launch is scheduled for the second quarter of the year. The satellite aims to boost India's broadband communication, especially in remote and unconnected regions of the country. This will be the country's first partnership with a venture led by billionaire Elon Musk. It comes as Musk is seeking to expand his other businesses in the country. Japan Airlines has said that it will incur a loss of about $105 million. This is due to the collision of one of its flights with a Japan Coast Guard aircraft on Tuesday. The wide-body jet was destroyed by a fire after the collision at Tokyo's Haneda Airport. Reports say US insurer AIG is the lead insurer for the plane. General Motors has maintained its lead as the top-selling automaker in the US in 2023. It edged out rival Toyota to grab the top spot. The Detroit automaker sold about 2.6 million new vehicles in 2023, which was 14% higher than in 2022. This was despite being hit by the United Auto Workers strike in the second half of the year. Meanwhile, easing supply snags and sustained demand drove the US auto industry to its best year since the pandemic. Ford is recalling more than 100,000 units of its F-150 pickup truck. This is due to an issue that can cause the vehicle to roll away when parked without the parking brake applied. The recall includes models produced within the years 2021 through 2023. The European Union has added Russia's Alrosa and its CEO Pavel Alexeyevich Marinichev to its sanctions list. Alrosa is the world's biggest diamond-producing company. The EU's diamond ban is done in coordination with the group of 7 countries. The G7 nations had announced a similar ban in December. Apple has agreed to settle a lawsuit over an iTunes gift card scam. The lawsuit accuses the company of knowingly letting scammers exploit its gift cards. The scam involves fraudsters forcing people into buying the gift cards. They are then scammed into sharing their confidential codes on the cards. According to the complaint, Apple would typically deposit only 70% of the stolen funds into fraudsters' accounts. Meanwhile, it would keep 30% for itself as a commission. According to a report, Google, YouTube, Meta, TikTok and Telegram have likely settled the fines imposed on them by Russia. This is because they are no longer registered as debtors in the state's database. However, the database still includes X and Twitch, with fines of over $500,000. Russia has been at loggerheads with foreign technology companies ever since its invasion of Ukraine. This is over content on their platforms that Moscow deems unlawful. Intel has said it was forming a new independent company around its artificial intelligence software. The new entity will be called Articulate AI. Unlike Intel, the new firm will not be a publicly traded company. The value of the deal is not yet known. Moving to sports, let's start with cricket. It was carnage on the first day of the test match between India and South Africa. The Proteas were bowled out for 56 runs as pacer Mohammad Siraj took 6 wickets. Then India were bowled out for 153 runs. India became the first team to lose 6 wickets without scoring a single run in a test match. In football, Girona beat Atletico Madrid 4-3 in last night's thriller. The game was tied 3-all going into the second half. Girona scored the winning goal 1 minute into second half injury time. With the win, Girona are now second in the La Liga but are tied with Real Madrid at 48 points. Real Madrid beat Mallorca 1-0 last night. The game was scoreless in the first half. Antonio Rudiger scored the winning goal for Real in the 78th minute. Real Madrid are now unbeaten in 18 games in all competitions. In tennis, Australia's Alex de Minaur beat Serbia's Novak Djokovic in the United Cup. De Minaur outplayed Djokovic 6-4, 6-4 in straight sets. This was Djokovic's first loss in a match that was being played in Australia since 2018. The Serbian will again face Alex de Minaur in the Australian Open next week. Norway's Holger Rune has advanced to the Brisbane International quarterfinal. Rune beat Russia's Alexander Shevchenko in yesterday's match. Rune won the first set 6-4. Then Shevchenko rallied to win the second set 7-5. In the final set, Rune managed to overcome his opponent 6-2. The Czech Republic's Karolina Pliskova also advanced at the Brisbane International. Pliskova made a comeback against Japan's Naomi Osaka. After losing the first set, Pliskova rallied to win 7-6, 6-4. Scotland's pro golfer Rory McIlroy has spoken in favour of the LIV Golf merger with PGA. After months of not supporting the merger, McIlroy says he is open to joining LIV Golf. However, he said that this would only happen if LIV Golf became more commercial, like the T20 cricket tournament called the Indian Premier League or IPL. McIlroy says he wants LIV to turn to the IPL equivalent of golf. In darts, Luke Humphries was crowned world champion last night. Humphries beat compatriot Luke Littler 7-4 in a gripping final. Humphries has now won 4 of the past 5 world championships. Meanwhile, this was 16-year-old Littler's first ever appearance in the final. In basketball, the Golden State Warriors beat Orlando Magic 121-115 last night. Steph Curry scored 36 points and had 6 assists to seal the win for the Warriors. With the win, the Warriors have now broken their 3-game losing streak. In American football, or the NFL, David Tepper, who is the owner of the Carolina Panthers, has been fined $300,000 for unacceptable conduct. This comes after Tepper threw his drink at fans who were supporting the opponent team during a game. The incident occurred when the Jacksonville Jaguars beat Tepper's Carolina Panthers 26-0. In entertainment news, Universal Studios outperformed Disney to become the most successful film studio in 2023. Universal reportedly earned $4.90 billion, while Disney secured the second spot with $4.82 billion. The notable releases by Universal Studios include Oppenheimer and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The Oscars committee has decided to put the film Barbie in the adapted screenplay category. Barbie was initially submitted in the category of original screenplay, but the committee decided that because the film relies on the popular doll Barbie, it will be considered an adaptation. The 96th Academy Awards ceremony will take place on March 10th this year. Actors Gabriel Macht and Patrick J. Adams will be presenting at the 2024 Golden Globe Awards. Additional presenters include Will Ferrell, Angela Bassett, George Lopez, Michelle Yeoh, and there are others. The 2024 Golden Globes will take place this Sunday, January 7th, in Beverly Hills, California. Singer Elvis Presley will make a virtual reality comeback in a show called Elvis Evolution in London. The immersive show will be an interactive experience which will follow the singer's life and musical journey. The show will conclude with an AI performance by Presley. NASA has reportedly chosen 3 BTS songs for their lunar mission playlist. One of the songs is singer RM's solo track Moonchild, while the other 2 are space-themed Microcosmos and 134340. The playlist named Moon Tunes will play on NASA's next lunar mission. Singer Britney Spears declared on Instagram that she will never return to the music industry. She also denied the rumors of her working on a new album. This comes after reports surfaced that she is in talks with singer-songwriter Charlie XCX and writer Julia Michaels for an unannounced record. Singer Kelly Clarkson revealed in an interview that writing her album Chemistry helped her during her divorce. She said the album worked as an outlet to work through her emotions. Clarkson added that it became a healthy way for her to express her feelings. Rapper T.I. and his wife Tameka Harris have been accused of drugging and raping a woman in Los Angeles in 2025. The woman is a veteran of the U.S. Air Force and was in her early 20s at the time of the incident. However, T.I. and his wife have denied the allegations. Two women have accused producer Nigel Lythgoe of sexual assault. This comes just days after singer Paula Abdul sued him for the same. According to reports, the two women were a part of Lythgoe's TV series All American Girl. The women are suing him for sexual battery, sexual harassment, gender violence, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Actor Carrie Bernans got severely injured after getting involved in a hit-and-run incident in New York City. The incident took place on the 1st of January. According to her representative, a driver collided with the outdoor dining area of a restaurant in Manhattan where she was sitting. Bernans sustained multiple fractures, broken bones, and chipped teeth.